Well, our first guest this week is Tom Djokovic. He's the CEO of XsunX Incorporated, XSNX, the stock symbol. Tom, great to see you again.
It's great to be back, Don. Thanks.
Well, we're really pleased. We're reinitiating coverage of the company. We've been following the company for several years. It's been a fascinating story during that period of time. But here, as of late, you've kind of gone in a different direction with the company. You're involved now in solar installation for commercial accounts. Tell us how that's going.
Well, it's going quite well, Don. We started about 7-8 months ago. My background is a licensed builder since 1979 in California, as a matter of fact. So it's not a new effort in terms of the construction side, but it's new for the company. It's going quite well. I mean, the demand, we're focusing on commercial solar, commercial industrial, and utility scale type projects, and the market is really wide open for that right now.
Well, what I find really amazing, and we've got a flyer that you're using as an advertising circular that we'll look at here in just a second, but you're able to offer to your clients a financing program that essentially allows them to end up owning the solar installation free and clear for less than the cost of the actual installation.
Absolutely, Don. Yeah, it's great. This is a program, it's very unique in the industry, and it really comes down to financing. Although we have some cash-paying customers because they really have the tax appetite, a lot of companies are just looking for a way to reduce costs. And so what this program does is it brings together three common interests. It brings together the common interest of XsunX. We're looking to sell, install, and make some money installing commercial solar systems. Our finance company, they're interested in the federal tax credits and depreciation allowances, so they take that and use it to reduce the cost, the factor rate on their leases. And our client, they're interested in reducing costs and overhead, and at some point actually owning the system. In most typical leases, you don't own anything.
Right.
This one, by the end of the lease, they have this extremely low lease factor rate, a buyout, and when you combine those two things, we're seeing total net cost to our customers of somewhere between 60 to 70 cents on the dollar of what XsunX received to actually install it. So it's a win-win-win situation for everyone involved.
Well, you're operating in Southern California where A, there's a lot of sun. B, there is very high cost of electricity. So it's got to be a perfect situation for you.
Well, absolutely, absolutely. And the electricity market is kind of very complex in Southern California. We see one client with paying one particular kind of rate because of how they use electricity, and then several doors down, someone's paying a completely different rate. Typically, we can help almost anyone. Some people, we come in just under the wire. Other people, they look at us like we're, the best thing that ever happened to them because we're able to reduce their rates so much.
Well, everybody in Southern California, both commercial and residential, got a letter from their power company sometime late last year saying that because they're closing the San Onofre nuclear generating station, your rates are going up, in some cases as much as 50%.
Right, and residential is an area where a lot of that's happening. On the commercial side, what's happening is a lot of people are seeing how it affects what's called their time of use. So the rate plans are changing, and the bottom line is commercial customers are going to feel more pain. So we're getting more phone calls, and at the same time, some of the state rebate programs are actually diminishing. So we've got this juxtaposed tension here occurring where the need for this is increasing because the price is going up. At the same time, the state's starting to back off on some of the incentives that they're providing.
And with all of these cost incentives that are involved in solar power, one thing that people sometimes we forget to talk about is that it's green energy. I mean, this is as clean can get.
Absolutely, yeah. And the neat thing about it is while we warrant the systems for 25 years, there's really no reason why they wouldn't function for 40 years.
Well, that was my next question, because once the system's installed, it just works.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there are maintenance issues, although cleaning it is important. It's not as important as some people think. And then 15 years out, you usually have some kind of other kinds of maintenance that you have to incur sometimes, depending on how the systems function. Although we do use our technology, we use the Solar Edge technology, which is a DC to DC optimizer, and it fundamentally is different than anything else on the market. And it helps produce more power. It comes with the longest warranty in the industry. It's the least complex, the most efficient, and that's a standard that we offer every single customer.
It's interesting because solar power has been paramount in the news and in the media the last few years, but it really is a relatively mature industry. I mean, it's been around for quite a while.
Well, yeah, an industry is becoming commonplace when the finance industry really falls in behind as well as they have in here. We now have a very mature finance infrastructure. The tax laws, the finance, how you can make money in the finance arena of this has matured significantly. So the industry is on the upswing. Growth is predicted to go through the roof. The current federal tax credits expire, well, they actually go from 30 to 10% at the end of 2016. Mm-hmm. So over the course of the next couple of years, we really anticipate an enormous increase in demand, especially in the commercial space, and that's why we're focused on commercial solar.
You've been in the solar business for quite some time. What's the biggest change you've seen during that period of time?
Costs coming down. What's happened is 5, 6, 7 years ago, it was unthinkable that a silicon solar module would ever be under $3 a watt. The holy grail was $1 a watt. How do we get to $1 a watt on a solar module? And then how do we get to $1 a watt on the installation? We're not there on the installation side, but on the solar modules, we routinely pay somewhere between 70 to 80 cents for premium, top of the line solar modules from the best companies out there. You can get them for less, but this is from the premium best companies. That was unheard of, and that's really fundamentally made the largest impact in the solar industry.
Again, the company is XsunX Incorporated. Their stock symbol is XSNX. Check out their website at XsunX.com. A lot of information there. Tom, excellent interview. So much data, so much information. Looking forward to really covering this company in detail over the next several weeks.
Thank you very much, Tom.